FlexiPay or Bridge Schools. To pay school fees using FlexiPay, dial *185#. Select option 6 School Fees. Select option 3 FlexiPay. Enter the school code. Enter the student number, enter the amount, enter the PIN number to complete payment. Pay school fees conveniently using Airtel Money. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
National Resistance Movement Liberation Day in Uganda is celebrated on the 26th of January each year. The public holiday commemorates the date in 1986 when the NRA overthrew Tito Okello's government. The event will take place under the theme celebrating the 36th NRA Victory Day, a call to duty for all compatriots to contribute towards Uganda's socio-economic transformation journey. Don't miss out on the military parade and the speech from His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni from Kololo Ceremonial Grounds on UBC TV come Wednesday, 26th January 2022.
All eyes are on Africa. All eyes are on Cameroon. All eyes are on UBC. The drama, the heartbreak, the suspense, tears, joy and celebrations in the biggest sporting event on the continent. In one place, UBC. Call your public broadcaster today and grow your business with us. 0752 265 827 and 0776 611 540. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Start the year off with my Airtel 4G smartphone. You get to enjoy free 1 GB data valid for a month and 100% bonus data every month for 3 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings. This includes free data spread over 3 months worth 86,500 Uganda shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 Uganda shillings only. Visit the nearest Airtel shop and get one today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
Thank you for keeping it with us, and it is our promise to you to ensure that you're well updated with what is happening globally and also locally. That is what we do here every weekday from 6:30 to the hour of 9. And now let's update you with what is happening in the print media. Well, today's volume of the New Vision, I don't know how many pages there are, but it's quite heavy indeed. 36 years of liberation. A big headline there: Museveni briefs East African presidents on ADF operations. That is a headline there for you in the New Vision. And then there are 84 pages that is on Liberation Day special insight, and that's what makes, I think, the paper have a number of volumes. Museveni commissions oil roads, and the New Vision also brings you Kampala Archbishop installed. That is a very good picture there of the Deputy Speaker and the Vice President greeting the now Archbishop of Kampala Archdiocese. Looking at still plans for burial of former Governor of Bank of Uganda, government accords Mutebile official burial. Then the changes, appointments made by His Excellency Museveni appoints new Deputy Inspector General of Police, and Liberation 50 to get national medals.
Now, of course, in the Daily Monitor, why General Kaniko was dropped as CMI chief, and of course to tell you, to give you still insight of what changes were made. Now, Kisoro, Master, its victims, that is buried, and some will get installed at Kampala. Now, also 60 pages of NRM Day supplement and EC for staff academic documents. Now, writer Kakwenzi kidnapped up. Well, of course, also now inside of the papers. Of course, they also give you an insight onto the statistics of COVID-19 and another index on the editor's pick.
Still looking at the new vision this morning on parenting. Our 7-year-old has become withdrawn. What should we do? How can I manage my 3 children alone? That is also a question there, and the Nyonyis are going to be able to respond to that. Still look at the COVID-19 tracker. Positivity rate is at 2.9. New confirmed cases, 139. Death, 9 people have succumbed to COVID, and total death being at 3,492. But also, we look at today in history. NRM takes over Kampala, and they give you more of the world's largest diamond found on this very date in the year 1905. Looking at sports this morning, we see more regarding that is the AFCON, the table, and of course, who is taking on who today. And of course, there's so much also regarding what is happening more in the other big leagues globally. Also, we now take a look at the Daily Nation this morning. That is Mavadi, and we look at budgets for financial crucial government operations now hang in balance. That is in Kenya. Why? That is Ruto, that is the alliance with Musalia ended, and still we look at Mudavadi and Ruto and Uhuru Raila shock defeat. But also the Daily Nation brings you more regarding politics. We know now just in about 6 months they will be heading into an election, and of course most of what is dominating their dailies is now politics as they prepare for that to come. But also Philo is very ready, that is to give you more on that is traffic updates, but also some of your comments that are coming in regarding our poll question.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Robert. Starting off with some of your thoughts regarding the poll question this morning, and coming in from one of you, you say NRM has tried its level best. The big fish have actually become more corrupt. But anyway, we cannot blame them because they have tried their best comparing to where we came from and where we are right now, and people need to appreciate it more. Well, keep the comments coming through. I will be sharing some of them with you. But getting back to the traffic updates this morning. Well, today is a public holiday, and usually we know that in Uganda or even in other countries, if it's a public holiday, there are usually few people who are trying to access the city center because most people are actually not working. And even people who are doing private business may run the businesses, but well, most clients or most would-be customers decide to actually stay home, and that clearly means that the traffic on most of the roads leading to the city center, even in the outskirts of the city center, are usually not congested. So the traffic is it's really the roads, most of them are really clear, so there is nothing much to worry about. But also considering that today we are having celebrations, the national liberation celebrations that are happening at Kololo Airstrip, there are invited guests specifically that will be in attendance, and I think this was partly because of the COVID SOPs, but also to cut down the traffic. And there was a traffic advisory that was released by Uganda Police coming in from the traffic department, and they were giving specific roads that were going to be cut off and the specific roads that were going to be open, especially today. And just to start off, to focus on that, Ginger Road, they advised that it was going to be normal traffic, and the traffic flow was going to be very normal. Nothing was going to be interrupted, meaning that you can actually use that route. But then also they did divert some traffic. Vehicles from Kololo residences unrelated to the function will be or are going to be diverted at Upper Kololo, that is York Terrace, and will be able to join Archer Road. And also vehicles will not be allowed to offload along Lower Kololo Terrace. And the John Babiha Road, that stretch from Acacia to continuing all the way to the main road, which is Yusuf Lure Road, was going to be or is going to be cut off as advised by the Traffic Police Department, and it's going to be cut off specifically at City Oil, Kamocha, and also Golf Course traffic lights. So if you are intending to actually take that route, it's not really a good decision for you because you will have nowhere, you will have no access. So it is very advisable that you can use any other route aside from that. And also heavy trucks and fuel trucks are not going to be allowed along the principal route. So if you know you are a motorist that you know, you find yourself driving these heavy trucks, that is not a route for you to use specifically this morning. And for the cyclists, well, good news is not for you this morning because no motorcycles will be allowed beyond any of the cutoff points. And getting to the Kololo grounds specifically, this one is a restricted area, so that means there is a restricted access. Only invited guests with stickers will have access to their designated parking areas. So if you're not an invited guest, you may want to look at other alternatives. You may want to make a detour to other routes that will take you to your destination for as long as it's not the Kololo grounds. And the Traffic Police Department gave out the specific colors that will be on several of these vehicles. So there is no way you will try to, you know, play around with that. Now, parking along the road in any undesignated parking area in the areas of Kololo ceremonial grounds is prohibited. So if you are also part of these road users who will just park anywhere, well, you risk a lot. Your car could actually be taken away from you, or you could have some answering to do. So you may want to avoid all these restricted areas. And also motor vehicles parked or abandoned by the roadside will be towed away to Ginger Road Police Station at the owner's cost and inconveniences. So this area is really, really restricted. They did give alternative routes that you may want to use in case you're trying to access the city center, especially if you are a resident of Kololo. So you don't want to find yourself falling victim of any of these. Now, getting back to the other roads, if you're trying to access the city center, like I told you earlier on, the roads are actually passable. The traffic is a little bit it's manageable, but in some spots we are seeing some red spots, which clearly tell you that the traffic is building. Now, you also don't want to take the chances because much as many people are not accessing the city center, yes, there are certain other people who have things to do, businesses to run. So yes, there are cars that will be getting into the city center. And I will just start off from Yusuf Lule Road. Now, this road is actually very clear. Where you see the green lines, it clearly tells you that you can use that. And it will help you join onto Ginger Road, Kampala Ginger Highway actually, which is also very passable this morning. So compared to very many other days, usually it's a little bit impassable. The trucks, motorists, and all the pedestrians and all other road users really crowd this place. So it makes it a little bit hard. But this day, this morning specifically, you could actually use it whether you're trying to get into the city center or you are trying to leave the city center. Now, you could go all the way till Kampala Road, which is actually passable. While you see the green lines, it clearly shows you that there is nothing you have to worry about. And if you're using Yusuf Lule Road, you could make a detour off to Nile Avenue Road, which is also very passable. All the green lights show you that it is a clear way all the way through that will help you join to Speak Road. And where you see Speak Road there, it's also green, so it clearly tells you that you can decide to use that if you don't really want to go all the way through the main road. And you're seeing some orange line here, which clearly tells you as well that the traffic, the cars are there. It's a bit trying to build, but I don't think it's going to be very heavy considering the day today and considering the numbers of people who are trying to use these roads. Now, this will take you all the way till City Square, and like I told you earlier on, most of these roads are really very free. So I think you're free to use the city center or to access it anytime. Now, the orange lines show you the few vehicles that I did talk about, the few people who are trying to get up and about their businesses. The cars are there, but they're not many. Now, most of these roads, you see some red spots, but I think this is nothing to cause a lot of fear and havoc if you're trying to, you know, go up and about your business, if you're not the kind that decided to stay home today. So this goes all the way, and the orange lines are there. We do have the orange spots there, as you can see. We also do have some few red spots here and there for people who are trying to get in and also trying to leave the city center. Now, for Uganda Road, which is a one-way as you're trying to leave the city center, it's very free, it's very clear. So If you don't want to use any other alternative, Buganda Road is down there for you to use. There is absolutely nothing for you to worry about. Now, this also still takes you all the way to Lumumba Avenue. If you're trying to get into the city, Nakasero Road, all these roads are very, very passable. They're very manageable. The other day I was talking to someone and he was telling me, if only every day in Kampala would be like a public holiday when the roads are passable. But I mean, if all wishes were horses, we would all be riding. Well, that's it for the traffic updates this morning. I will leave you to Mollen to give us more of the weather forecast today. Now, Mollen, today being a national holiday, usually sometimes we fear for the rain to come in and cause a lot of disorganizations. Is that something that we should be expecting today?
Well, I'm not making any promises, but I can tell you we are starting off good. So far, so good. We're just seeing only sunny skies, and hopefully we'll be maintaining that. But we shall cover that in our forecast, which has already been issued out for this morning, and that covers parts of Kampala, Kololo inclusive. So we do expect, at least what I can promise you is the weather is going to be pleasant. So even after, if you're going ahead for celebrations, it should be quite some good weather to go out there.
Usually when I'm going to attend functions like this, I just always go with an umbrella because, Kampala or Uganda weather is very unpredictable. So I really don't want to take chances. Anyway, I will leave you to Mollen, who will be giving you more on this climate news and also be giving you the weather forecast for today. Have a very good morning. I am Philomena Masco.
Well, thank you, Philo, for that. And when you talk about Kampala weather or Ugandan weather being unpredictable, I want to differ from that. It is actually predictable, which is why you have people like us who are predicting the weather. And I did say this earlier, we are the prophets that you didn't know you actually knew. So we'll go ahead and make good with our prophecy. But talking about prophecies, now we do have one that is coming in from an astronaut, and this astronaut is called Thomas Pasquet. Now, Thomas Pasquet did go into space in his, quest to look at the climate extent of what we have right now. And a report did come out about his findings on what he has seen across space. Now, while we talk about climate change and what has changed within the world at this point, looking at it from the outer space, within the spaceships, it appears different. And this is why Thomas did go to the space last year. He did come out with a report that is actually very, very alarming. In his words, he says it is equally as alarming as breathtaking, because he's also comparing his findings to when they had that kind of space trip to also look at the climate extent in 2016. Now, from his findings, he also talks about the fact that the situation that we had in 2016 was actually much more better. It wasn't good by then, but it's better than what he's seeing from right now. And that is something that has been worrying scientists across the world. Look at the world at such an extent. Now, when you look at what we're talking about on a daily here, we're talking about land degradation, we're talking about, losing all this forest cover, we're looking at melting of the ice, but looking at it from the space and what the astronauts are telling us, it's actually, the situation is that worse. We no longer have that ice that was there covering, for example, the Arctic, and that is where most of the ice sheets have melted so far, and that is something that is already worrying. And it should be now that we also start to incorporate action on what can be done to make sure that we don't lose most of this. And also, I'm glad that we have scientists that are now looking at it from such an angle, because when we talk about climate change and what is being lost, without people looking at it from such an extent, it will seem like a myth, but I can tell you it's no longer a myth, and this is something that we're going to follow up. The report did come out yesterday on his findings, and he's still doing interviews to really make sure that even organizations like the World Meteorological Organization, the IPCC, that's the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, get to incorporate some of these findings within at least the assessment reports that they are making, so that can also help within the climate action agenda that the world is trying to push for up to today. But well, away from that, we also want to look at the weather situation in the country, and we do have a report that did come out just a few days ago from the Uganda National Meteorological Authority that is giving us a 10-day forecast on the weather that we're expecting for the rest of January. And according to UNMA, we are seeing that most parts of the country are still expected to predominantly have those dry conditions, and those are expected over most areas within the country. Now they go ahead to project this into a map that will be showing the extent of what we're talking about. Now where you see the gray colors, that is actually the areas, the gray-blue colors as they're shown on the screen, that is indication of dry conditions over most of those areas. Now that takes in northern Uganda, you look at the Kirabo region, parts of western Uganda as well, that area is likely to have mostly dry conditions. Now while you're seeing the orange and green colors, those are the areas that are expected to have a little bit of rains compared to the rest of the country. Now that takes in southwestern Uganda, that is across Kabale Highlands. That area is expected to continue with rainy conditions. Then a little bit towards Mount Elgon Highlands, that is where we have the likes of Mbale across that area. Now that is also expected to have more continuous rains. But also you see the orange colors there, that goes up to between 5 and 10 millimeters of rainfall. That takes in parts of the central Lake Victoria Basin and towards the eastern part of Lake Victoria Basin. That is where we have the likes of Jinja, Tororo, this area here in orange. Also when you look at where we have the yellow and orange colors, Kampala, parts of Wakiso as well, Mukono, moving into the central part of the country. Now that area is also expected to have a little bit of rains compared to the rest of the country. That is for the rest of January. But the good thing is that we will be mostly updating this with more of the information that does come in on a daily from the Ghana National Meteorological Authority as well. Now they go ahead to look into the temperatures that are expected across the country for this same period. We're still looking at mostly temperatures going between 26 to 30, and 26 to 30 is forecast for areas mostly across the parts of northern Uganda. We're looking at central north here, across Kitgum, Padel, Gulu, and also towards western, northwestern parts of the country where you see those red colors. That is where temperatures are expected to be at least between 26 to 30 degrees centigrade. Now the rest of the country where you're seeing the orange colors, we also expect temperatures to be at least between 24 and 28 degrees centigrade. That is for the rest of January. But take a look at the areas where we have those blue colors there. That is where we expect temperatures to be quite low, and that takes in the Kabale Highlands, also parts of southwestern Uganda. We also have across Mount Elgon Highlands. Now with the rains expected over there, that is the likes of Mbale, also we do expect that area to have a little bit of temperatures going down. And also you look at some of the places within the Karamoja region, and they're highlighting Kabong as one of those areas that are likely to have temperatures go down over that area. And we could also be looking at least reduced temperatures across most areas within the central part of the country, as well as the western part of Lake Victoria. That is also expected to have a little bit of temperatures going down for this time of the year. Now also most of the advisory that is coming in from the Ghana National Meteorological Authority is that at this time, when you see that the rains are not yet there, to the farmers especially, do hold on to start planting. But for the areas especially now like southwestern and across the Lake Victoria Basin where we do expect those minimal rains, you can start preparing your gardens in preparations for the first rainy season that will be coming in at least by March. So until the onset of the rains is there, right now all you can do is just prepare your gardens. And also to people with livestock, this is a great time to also make sure that you're having more supply of water to the livestock, and also make sure that you carry out at least irrigation for the grass that they can feed on. And also now the advisory that is coming in at this time of the year, how you wear is important. You just have to maintain the light clothing. We still have those dry conditions. Keep yourself with a bottle of water wherever you are, and also make sure that especially when it is so sunny, keep that umbrella with you. Now the umbrellas are not just for the rainy conditions. Even when it is sunny, it's important that you actually have your umbrella with you and you can cover yourself against too much sunshine. You don't want to be dehydrated, and that could also be a health issue. So that is what also some of the advisories that are coming through from the authority on how to deal with the dry conditions across the country right now. But away from that, we want to take a look at what is going on across the country for now and look into the weather that we will be having for the entire morning today, and later we'll be looking at the forecast as well. Now, it looks like we did start off with mostly a pleasant morning. I can tell you we do have mostly sunny skies across the country. Now, just a bit of clouds, and those are only over a few places within southwestern Uganda, but the rest of the country is in those grey colors, indicating mostly sunny skies. So it looks like we're going to be dealing with a lot of sunshine this morning. And also for the areas, if you look at Kampala right now, even where we're going to have the celebrations in Kololo, that area seems to be quite dry for now, just sunny conditions, and it looks like we might maintain that for the entire morning moving into the afternoon. So it's quite a good day to have those celebrations. But we'll go ahead and take a look into the forecast that has been given out for this morning, and that is also coming in from the Uganda National Meteorological Authority on the kind of weather that we're expecting for different areas within the country. Now, we know for sure that the Lake Victoria Basin is also starting off with quite just sunny intervals, and that is a mix of clouds and sunshine across most of that area. Southwestern Uganda is still dealing with a little bit of cloudy conditions, but also that is forecasted to clear into mostly a sunny day. Now, it looks like we're still maintaining those sunny conditions, and that will be across mostly the northern half of the country. Now, it seems like we're actually going to be having some pleasant weather for today. Now, what is likely to happen even in terms of temperatures, with that continuous kind of sun, we might be looking at temperatures go up, especially for the northern part of the country. But the forecast that is coming in for this morning also indicates mostly sunny skies across mostly the northern part of the country and the eastern part of Uganda. Well, I'll be leaving you at that. We do have an interview with General Eli Tumwine, who will be looking into the Liberation Day and talking to us about how far we've come when we're looking at NRA government. That will be coming in later. But for now, let's first take a look into the forecast. Now, we're starting off with the southwestern part of the country where we're forecasting sunny conditions. Temperatures will be rising up to 26 degrees centigrade across the area, and then we expect that to continue into the afternoon. Now, the eastern part of Central, where we have Ruwero, Woblenzi, Bururi, and Nakaseke, we're forecasting a mix of clouds and sunshine with a warm day starting off at 28 degrees. Now we link into the central part of Lake Victoria, where we have Entebbe, Wakiso, Kampala, Mukono. We're forecasting a mix of clouds and sunshine as well, starting off with a pleasant 26 degrees centigrade, and we're likely to maintain that for the entire morning. Looking to Mount Elgon Highlands, where we have Bududa, Buko, Sironko, and Bale. We're forecasting a mix of clouds and sunshine, starting off at 27, but we do expect more clouds to develop across that area later as the day continues. The eastern side of Lake Victoria, Tororo, Busia, Iganga, and Jinja, we're forecasting also sunny intervals, and starting off with a 27, we're likely to actually be going for the upper 20s by afternoon. Temperatures are likely to be going up for that area of the country. Now, the western side of Lake Victoria, Masaka, Kalisizo, Sembabule, Rakai, also starting off with quite a hot morning with sunny intervals at 27 degrees centigrade. We do expect at least that area to have more of the clouds developing later in the afternoon, but that will be towards the evening. Now, central northern Uganda, we're expecting those sunny conditions, already sunny over there and starting off hot at 29 degrees centigrade. We do expect temperatures to go into the lower 30s by afternoon, and we're also likely to maintain those sunny conditions over that area. It's quite hot, so if you're headed over there, that's one of those places you should look out for, and do wear light clothing and also have that bottle of water with you. Now, same condition if you're headed for eastern Uganda, across Soroti, Kata, Kuyamuri, and Kumi, also forecasted to have those much more intense sunny conditions starting off at 29, and we're also likely to be hitting lower 30s by afternoon. Now, looking into what we actually have across the country, it seems like the weather situation is looking good, so there's nothing to complain today. It's a public holiday. If you're going out there to celebrate, please feel free to just celebrate without worrying about the weather. But we'll be giving you that interview with General Eli Tumwine, who will be taking us through the Liberation Day and much of how we're seeing NRM come into existence right now, the achievements, the challenges, all in there. So please do not move from UBC. My name is Mollen, Kenyena. I want to wish you a good morning.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
Airtel 4G smartphone. You get to enjoy free 1 GB data valid for a month and 100% bonus data every month for 3 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings. This includes free data spread over 3 months worth 86,500 Uganda shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 Uganda shillings only. Visit the nearest Airtel shop and get one today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
All eyes are on Africa. All eyes are on Cameroon. All eyes are on UBC. The drama, the heartbreak, the suspense, tears, joy and celebrations in the biggest sporting event on the continent. In one place, UBC. Call your public broadcaster today and grow your business with us. 0752 265 827 and 0776 611 540. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
National Resistance Movement Liberation Day in Uganda is celebrated on the 26th of January each year. The public holiday commemorates the date in 1986 when the NRA overthrew Tito Okello's government. The event will take place under the theme celebrating the 36th NRA Victory Day, a call to duty for all compatriots to contribute towards Uganda's socio-economic transformation journey. Don't miss out on the military parade and the speech from His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni from Kololo Ceremonial Grounds on UBC TV